Hey, and welcome back. It is a Money Monday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tabacco. We're coming to you today, as we do every day, noon to 2 Eastern, live from the Question Tequila Studios. Yes, we made it to Broadway, and we're still on Broadway. We haven't been canceled yet. We are in downtown New York City, right across from City Hall, and just a stone's throw away from the New York Stock Exchange, where the market is trading mildly on this Money Monday, just down a couple of 25 points or so, and Bitcoin is having a rather nice day today at up about $400. And on Money Monday, it's not always just about the money, not just about the Benjamins, but we bring on the money guests. And joining us today, along with my co-host Frank Morano, is Montvale Mayor Mike Ghassali. Thank you very much for joining us today. And you're also candidate for Congress in the NJ5 district. And the great thing I heard about you was, you know, right here in New York, we got this guy, right? And I put him on the milk container when he was running for president because he was missing in action. Right. We couldn't find him, and he's on the 1% milk container because he can only get the 1% in the polls. But he wants to give illegal aliens free health care, free college, driver's licenses, free, get arrested, release immediately so that ICE doesn't come and get them. You're one of the tough guys who's standing up to Phil Murphy and the establishment in New Jersey, and you're saying Montvale is not a sanctuary city. Tell us a little bit of how you came up with that fortitude to make Montvale that place.
John, thanks for having me. I am the mayor of the borough of Montvale. Mm-hmm. Sanctuary policies is a threat to public safety. There's no question about that. It will put our law enforcement officers' safety at risk, our people's safety at risk, and not only that, only the mayors know this. It puts a burden on our taxpayers. Now we have to provide for transportation, for food and shelter, even for safety. And there's nothing that is coming good out of these policies.
There's not a lot of shows on TV where you see one of these, you know, and Frankie has one too. We got them out there with pride because we stand behind first responders and police. And they're basically putting themselves in harm's way, your police department, to bring some of these criminals who are illegal aliens and they're undocumented, whatever they want to call them in the PC world today. Those guys are putting themselves in harm's way to bring these people in. And then there are other parts of New Jersey, including right up to the top, the governor, where they want to let those guys risk their lives and then just release the people, and recidivism is frequent with these people.
So the good men and women in blue, they took the oath to uphold the law. And now we're telling them, based on these policies from the AG's office, that they have to defy federal and immigration laws. It puts their lives at risk. It puts our people's safety at risk. So if you are, if you are arrested for a violent crime, for rape, for a murder, and we can't identify who you are, we can't find your fingerprints anywhere in the database, you're not going anywhere in my town until we know who you are.
You must hate immigrants, right?
Well, funny you say that, because I am an immigrant. I was born in Syria. I came here when I was 16. I went through the process when Reagan took over, and a year before he left office.
You didn't just break in and wait for somebody to declare amnesty or something like that?
I had to have a sponsor, so I don't become a public charge. I had to sign a document that I have to learn English. I have to sign a document to get a job. And within 7 years, if I don't break the law, I follow the rules, I have the privilege of becoming an American citizen.
Well, let me ask you about one of the president's more recent proclamations. A few days ago, he said that if you're going to come here as a legal immigrant, you either have to have health insurance or you have to be able to prove that you can pay for your own medical expenses, because we don't want people becoming a burden on either taxpayers, insurance companies, or hospitals. It struck me as a pretty good idea, but this has been pretty controversial, like everything Donald Trump does. What's your take?
He's 100% on point. I support him 100%. I am legal. I pay $17,000 a year for my health insurance. If I was illegal, I would come to the border, claim asylum, and I get everything for free. That's not fair.
How is this, Mike? You're not just like some local mayor who's, trying to get a little publicity. You're running for Congress. You want to take what you know from small town America, and you want to bring that to Congress, and you want to see people in Congress who support our president and his policies, not open borders, not citizenship for everyone for nothing. You went through it. I've had a lot of guests on the show who are legal immigrants like you, and they support Trump tremendously because they say, well, you know, my mom had to get a sponsor before she got on the boat in Italy, and she had to prove that she had a job waiting for her and relatives who would put her up, right? And you had to, all this stuff had to get vetted. Legal immigrants, to me, seem to be Trump's biggest supporters because they want everyone to go through the same process they went through.
So here's the point. Because I went through the process, I lived the American dream. And I want everyone to experience what I experienced. Okay? The American dream is what we actually lived. People who come through the process, they work hard. I had to work 2 jobs, go to school, and I started a whole new company. And I was the president of 7,000 employees, sold that company, became part of FedEx, lived the American dream. People who come through the border and they get things for free, free has no value.
Why do you want to go to Congress? Because that seems to me like the American nightmare. You want to ruin the whole thing. You're doing great.
I enjoy every second of being a mayor. I enjoy every second of being an American citizen in here. And I want people to experience what I experienced. And the only way for me to do that is to actually have a seat on the table and have people experience exactly what I experienced.
Mayor, I'm sorry to throw this kind of curveball at you, but we can't avoid taking advantage of your unique experience on a big issue of the day. The president's decision to withdraw troops from Syria has a lot of Republicans upset with him, saying he's leaving our Kurdish allies in Syria to be slaughtered. A lot of other people say, look, eventually American troops have to let certain other entities fight their own battles. As someone who's from Syria originally, where do you stand on the question?
So the fact of the matter is, we are looked, as Americans, we are looked at in the Middle East, in Syria, in Iraq, as people who don't belong there. We should not be there. They want to have their own vision, their own country, and defend their own ways. Now, we tried, it didn't work. I think later on, we may have to go back in there on a limited basis, but they need help. They need intelligence. They need us to help them to defeat ISIS.
So it sounds like you're pretty supportive of this decision to withdraw troops from northern Syria.
I think we need to see how the Kurds behave right now, if they are able, and we have to see how Turkey also behaves. If Turkey starts to meddle with the Syrian
and the president did warn them on Twitter this morning. He said, look, we're going to keep our eye on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the ace. If they misbehave, we have to go back in right away.
You know, the last thing I'll ask is, you're from one of these districts that's sort of a purple district, one of the handful in the whole country. In 10 seconds, why do you think Josh Gottheimer, the incumbent in your district, is doing a poor job and doesn't deserve to be reelected?
He hasn't done anything. Since he came in, he said, we only get 33 cents on the dollar from Washington. That's 4 years ago. 4 years later, we still get 33 cents on the dollar. He supports the AOC and the Squad. He supports the socialist movement. I am 100%, 1,000,000,000% against socialism. I've lived it. It's not where we want to be.
Well, best of luck to you. You got to come back.
So I can assume you were with this guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I represent my Trump pen every day. Mike Ghassali is the mayor of Montvale, New Jersey. He's also candidate for Congress. Go check him out because we need more people like this down in Washington supporting our president. You support our sponsors. Stay right there. We're going to take a quick break. Back right after this.